I mean, who's to say that these investors are just Joe Schmoes off the street? This could be another collaboration where, of course, under the guise of, anonymity or the simple investor, because we already know that a couple of these guys, the top guys made big money. So I think that this is a way to help push the run on the banks and what have you, to kind of cause the kind of run that created the Great Depression, right? You scare people, tell everybody it's going to go down. They all flock to the banks to pull everything out. Well, in this case, you're now, with all this talk about silver being the next, short squeeze that they want to pull. I just think that this is a ploy to essentially destroy those banks, either if it's just through the media. And then, of course, like you say, they come in, shut everything down, and then poof, boom, we're on a crypto.
So, the world has woken up to the scamdemic. At this point, the whole thing would be over if it wasn't for our fellow man falling for this. But not just falling for this, wanting us to be enslaved by this, wanting to see humanity suffer, wanting to see the economy crash. Something about them, man. Demonic possession, Stockholm syndrome, whatever you want to call it. But it's our fellow man doing this. We're still in this fake pandemic because our fellow Americans, our fellow Earthlings, want to go along with it. You'll never understand it. I'll never understand it. We have a will to be free. We have a desire to be free human beings, self-government, and we like to be informed, and we don't like to fall for deceptions. But some people like it. Otherwise, you wouldn't get those emails about African princes sending you millions of dollars still. That scam would be long over with. But they still do it. Now, here's the video. They shut down a mass vaccination site. Really shocking that you even have this. Dodger Stadium, a big Major League Baseball stadium, big parking lots, everything. And so they set it up for a mass vaccination zone. And I mean, just miles of cars to get this thing. And most of it's probably just because they need it to get back to work, or they really think if they get the vaccine, they can get back to normal life. All a big lie, just like the mask, just like the pandemic. But it gets shut down by doctors and people who are there warning the people driving in how people are getting negative reaction to the vaccines. I mean, you're there at Dodger Stadium. I mean, I'm sure Henry Aaron hit a few dingers at Dodger Stadium, say, hey, the shot killed Hank Aaron, the home run king. So, but here's one man who loves the slavery. He can't wait to get that jab. And here he is begging to get the vaccination as they shut down the site because of the protesters.
Unfortunately, that's beyond my control. I'm just here for...
Who has the control of this?
Right now, it's closed. You're not going to get to anybody right now. So I would just suggest just waiting in your car, and that's the best you can do right now. We'll reopen it as soon as we can.
Again, everybody that needs to the line, they have the legal right to do what they're supposed to do. Get vaccinated.
Tell them that you are advanced.
So,
hey, blame Biden, man. It's Biden's fault.
Control for a group of people who don't want us to do the right thing. This is not right. We had to.
Yeah, how could Biden do this? How dare he?
Yeah, I'm telling
right?
you.
I mean, that's the logic here.
So they're not controlling that. You're controlling this.
Nope,
You're the
I
one
follow
who's
orders.
supposed to open the door for the people who...
This world is
right
so
to do
messed
what they
up,
want.
man.
So,
See, the police just follow orders now.
Follow the line, they do everything right. So because a group of people don't want to do
So
it...
whatever they're told to do, they just follow orders. They're just telling you now, we just follow orders.
That's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, let people in the Capitol. Okay, we follow orders. All right, now arrest him for going into the Capitol. Okay, we follow orders. That man has tape over his mouth. Go arrest him. Okay, we follow orders. Shut down the vaccine site. Okay, we follow orders. And it's just funny because, you know, it's been the conservative side of the aisle, the Republican voter, if you will, that's supported the police. And of course, we all understand why. Police are not our enemy. That thin blue line is the difference between chaos and civilization, if you will. But I mean, at this point, it's like, hey, look, just defund all the police. Give the left what they want. Go ahead. See what happens. Who's gonna enforce your masks? Who's gonna enforce your shutdowns? Who's gonna enforce your vaccines? Who's gonna go after the people? Who's gonna go after Trump supporters when they have a rally or when they show up anywhere for a peaceful protest? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be you? You gonna show up? Hey, eventually you just got to give them what they want and realize sometimes it plays for our advantage. I mean, look at the silver linings of the Biden administration so far. I mean, 30 plus executive actions. I mean, even the grassroots left is realizing, oh, shoot, oh, boy, we crapped the britches with this one, didn't we? Yeah, Biden did too. He doesn't know where he is. Walking around in Depends, has to read off of note cards. I mean, what a pathetic joke. And see, they don't even hide it at this point. Remember, they say, oh, Biden is so fit. He's ready to go. He can ride a bike. He can pet a dog. He can think. And then he gets in the White House. Where is Biden, by the way? Anybody seen Biden this weekend? I haven't seen Biden this weekend. Anybody knows where Biden is? Hello, looking for Joe. Yes, this is the White House press gaggle. We're looking. Can Joe come out to play today? Oh, no, I'm sorry. No Joe today. No Joe. This is Friday. No Joe. Oh, no Joe today? Ah, man. He's calling a lid on being the president at noon today? Ah. Come back tomorrow. Okay. Saturday now. Yeah, hi. It's the White House press gaggle. Can Joe come out to play? Sorry, Joe's not playing president today. Sorry, no Joe today. He's not playing president today. Sorry, he's not getting out of bed. Go home, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I think, you know what, Jen Psaki will say something. Yeah. Go over to the East Wing. Jen will be there. She'll be doing a press conference. It'll be fine. Yeah. Go, Jen, entertain the people. Go, Jen. Go away. Okay. Sunday rolls around. Here we are. At this point, Joe's in there. He's saying, what is that racket? Mr. President. Mr. President, the media's here. Mr. President, the Chinese communist expansionists are at it again. Mr. President, do you have a comment? Mr. President, the Lincoln Foundation, which endorsed your run for presidency, is one of their founders has been caught sending images, sexual harassment. Mr. President, you there? Mr. President, the short squeezers are about to collapse the stock market. All your buddies in the Wall Street. Mr. President, do you have a comment? You're going to be knocking all day long because he ain't coming. Where's Joe? Joe? Oh, Joe, we need a president, Joe. Nothing from Joe. Oh, but you watch. If the short squeezers against the hedge fund managers have another successful week, oh, Biden will pop out of nowhere and he'll be signing executive actions and orders and he'll shut that down. Oh, yeah. You better believe it. Yeah, is there a president here? This is the White House, isn't it? Looking for a president? Joe can't come out and play today. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. It's been a rough weekend for Joe. Yeah, he got out of bed yesterday. It was a big day for him. He got out of bed. Wakes up, takes his meds, puts the makeup on, sits in front of a desk, signs executive orders, talks for 2 minutes, and goes back to bed. Where is Joe? Oh, of course they're going to bring in Kamala. It's really easy to replace a guy who's not even there. Yeah, they'll bring Kamala in for Joe Biden. It'll be like nothing ever happened because Joe was never even there. So Joe came in, signed all the executive orders, and then they'll just flush him down the toilet like a dead goldfish. And they'll bring in that cackling, phony Kamala Harris. but it'll be after Joe Biden signs 50 executive orders so that you can't call her the dictator. It'll be Biden that does it, and then they flush him down the toilet. And you've never seen a more disingenuous phony than Kamala Harris. The fake laugh, I mean, all of it. Oh, I listened to Tupac in college. Never even made his first album. I mean, just a total phony. Hey, you know what? If she was like, head of the book club or like, the coffee club or something like that. Hey, great personality. Hey, we like it. You know what? You're a total phony. You laugh it up. You smile it up. But that's what we like here at the Sunday morning book club. She belongs on The View with the rest of the clowns. Laughing it up, cackling it up. Joy with Joy Behar. Oh, we got Trump in Russia. Oh, ah! That's where Kamala Harris belongs with the Joy blowhards. But no, she's your next. She's your next thief or commander in thief. All right. I want to give out the phone number right now. We're going to take calls for the remainder of this Sunday Night Live. The phone number is 877-789-2539, 877-789-2539. Any of the things we've discussed so far is fair game. The Lincoln Project, more DC pedophilia, sexual harassment, covered up by the media. Gamergate 2.0, Wall Street bets, short squeeze gang versus the billionaire hedge fund managers. And then, of course, Biden, Janet Yellen, and the rest of them who are in the back pocket, or should I say, they have the back pocket of the politicians. So what do you think is going to happen if they have another fight next week in Wall Street versus the small guy? And then what do you make of the Democrats continuing to arrest anybody who they can that went into the Capitol? I mean, really stunning behavior. So it's just, unity, unity, unity after they stab you with a vaccine that'll kill you, come arrest you for your First Amendment, and then eventually come to take your gun. Yeah, they want unity, though, don't they? No, unity to the Democrats is their way or the highway. Unity to the Democrats is it's only their way. That's unity to them. But, I mean, it's just so phony. Everybody sees through how phony they are. Real quick, though, as the crew gets your phone calls lined up here, again, 877-789-2539. I want to play this video this young lady put together, kind of funny, asked as tax season is here, she's filing her taxes, asked about how many people are dependent on her in the IRS tax forms, and her response is pretty creative.
The IRS has returned my tax return to me this year after I apparently answered one of the questions incorrectly. In response to the question, do you have anyone dependent on you? I wrote 9.5 million illegal immigrants, 1.1 million crackheads, 3.4 million unemployable scroungers, 80,000 criminals in over 85 prisons, plus 650 idiots in Washington. The IRS stated the answer I gave was unacceptable. I then wrote back, who did I leave out?
Show me the lie. Show me the lie. True, isn't it? We do have millions of illegal immigrants dependent on us. We do have drug addicts dependent on us. We do have criminals dependent on us. We do have the crooks in D.C. dependent on us. We do have countless foreign nations dependent on us, which, of course, people like Joe Biden use as financial blackmail. Like when he goes in front of the Council on Foreign Relations and said, oh, well, I need to get a prosecutor fired so my son could sit on an oil board and make millions of dollars and then cut other deals overseas, enrich myself 10% for the big guy. So I said, yeah, we give you $8 billion in foreign aid, but you better fire that prosecutor. Oh, and then he brags how they did it. He does it all right there on the Council on Foreign Relations, all right there on national TV. And then we have his son's laptop showing all the other gruesome details, the deals in China, the deals in Kazakhstan. We have his business partners come out, Bobby Bubalinsky, Tony Bubalinsky. Yeah. It's kind of like the media with Epstein. No, we're not going to cover that. You had the undercover footage. The ABC News anchor. She said, yeah, I had the story. They spiked it to protect Hillary. You don't say. Kind of like how 17% of Biden voters said they would not have voted for Biden had they known about the Hunter laptop story. They spiked that one too. Kind of like they spiked the Lincoln Project co-founder John Weaver, now accused by 21 men of online sexual harassment. They spiked that one too because they're all in it together. And it's about to really expose itself this week. It's going to really expose itself this week when they bail out the Wall Street hedge funds and they shut you down from even making a trade. Oh, yeah. So the political lines of the commander-in-chief Joe Biden era are being drawn right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the crew is aggregating your phone calls. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we would not be here if it wasn't for your support at InfoWarsStore.com. And I can tell you, as a user of the InfoWars supplements and somebody who's been using supplements for over a decade of my life, InfoWarsStore.com has the best supplements. Whether it's the Bodies, the turmeric that we have in the pill form, or the pure turmeric extract, it's the best you're going to find out there. The DNA Force Plus flagship supplement, I take it every day, every morning and every night. And if you go, you'll see to InfoWarsStore.com, you'll see we have the January mega sale happening last night for that. We flipped the calendars to February tomorrow. What a historic month January 2021 was. We learned that we have to wear 10 masks. We learned that we have to do a Chinese anal probe to get a COVID test. We learned that the left is allowed to protest and riot, but the right isn't allowed to even speak. And, of course, Joe Biden stole the White House. The Democrats stole the White House. China stole the White House. So I would suggest you get the supplements at InfoWarsStore.com to get in the best health of your life, both mentally and physically, to prepare for what is surely to come. Whether it's the Super Male Vitality, the Alpha Power, the Survival Shield X2, the Pollen Block, the Alexa Pure Breeze Air Filter. It's all at InfoWarsStore.com. Don't forget about all the preparedness gear, survival gear, the emergency food supplies, the emergency water filtration supplies. It's all at InfoWarsStore.com. We don't even talk about some of the great products that we have there just in the survival gear section. Like we've got, what do you want to call it, independent power sources. Just churn to get power. Like on a, we've got the pedals, the bike pedals, turn for power. So we don't even talk about that. We've got all kinds of survival gear at InfoWarsStore.com. We just tell you, hey, look, people are really into supplements, so we have the best supplements. People are getting emergency food, so hey, we have the best emergency food at the lowest price. It's good for 30 years. And then, of course, it's a 360 win. You get the great supplements, you get the great emergency food, you get the great T-shirts, the hats, survival gear, and then that funds what we do here. We don't get big political donations. We don't have super PACs. We don't have big advertisers or sponsors, big pharma, big fast food, big Hollywood. We don't get any of that. We just have you shopping at InfoWarsStore.com, and that's why the entire establishment hates us. So kind of like what you're seeing with Wall Street right now, hating Gamergate 2.0, hating Wall Street bets, hating the little guy short squeezing the billionaire hedge funds. That's us versus the mainstream news every day. That's just how we roll. So InfoWarsStore.com is what makes everything we do here possible, and your support there. All right, the phone lines are open. The callers are coming in. We're getting them all on the line right now. We've got Earl, who's calling in from North Carolina. He leads us off tonight. Earl, you're on InfoWars Sunday Night Live. Go ahead.
Hey, Owen, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I was actually in D.C., was arrested for curfew, not ever on the grounds, but, of course, they're trying to stick me with some the unlawful entry, but that's another story for another day.
Wow.
Really wanted to talk about that, of course, the hedge fund short squeeze. Not sure if anybody's kind of thinking of it from the angle that, this may be the way they're going to bring down the devalue all the currencies, bring us onto that cryptocurrency, kind of a digital currency, kind of gamifying it, much like QAnon on the 8chan, Reddit. Yeah, I mean, we know it's, I believe, China owned. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know what? And I have thought of this, but I want to make sure that I'm thinking the same thing you are. Basically, that the short squeeze of the billionaire hedge funds is a false flag to have people get behind the collapse of Wall Street and get behind the collapse of the economy so that they can then be blamed for it as the Wall Street billionaires and the politicians and the rest actually make off with all the loot, and then you get nothing because they just say it's collapsed.
Well, not only that, but I believe that, who's to say that these investors are just Joe Schmoes off the street? This could be another collaboration where, of course, under the guise of, anonymity or, the simple investor, because we already know that a couple of these guys, the top guys made big money. So I think that this is a way to help push the run on the banks and what have you to kind of cause the kind of run that created the Great Depression, right? You scare people, tell everybody it's going to go down. They all flock to the banks to pull everything out. Well, in this case, you're now, with all this talk about silver being the next, short squeeze that they want to pull. I just think that this is a ploy to essentially destroy those banks, either if it's just through the media. And then, of course, like you say, they come in and shut everything down, and then poof, boom, we're on a crypto.
Well, it's kind of like Trump. I mean, you look at Trump. He really wanted to be the president. He really got in there. He really tried his best, and they judo moved him. And they turned everything that was positive about Trump into a negative that is now being used as an excuse to basically end free speech, end free assembly, and go after all their political distance. So they could judo move this short squeeze on the hedge funds and the banks to basically do the same thing. But I mean, look, there's definitely an organic movement there, no doubt, and they're not going to stop. And they've already said, hell, we'll tank. We'll tank financially to beat these people.
Right. But like I said, I just think this is how they're going to, I think this is grassroots or not, I definitely see that this is going to be a way for them to initiate everything that they are wanting here, get us into that digital, currency. So,
well, it definitely is part of the times, and I wonder if it'll be kind of like a year ago. Remember when you had the runs on toilet paper and everybody going to the grocery store? So they may try to do another panic. Oh, the market is collapsing. The market is collapsing. Who knows? It is definitely a crazy time. And look, the truth is, though, Wall Street's over-levered, and the banks are over-levered, and it's about to be totally exposed.
Absolutely. And I guess the last thing I wanted to say was love the products. Love the X2. We love Bodies. That's our favorite. I've done the Alpha Power, and we, of course, have our Alexa Pure water filter that's keeping all that fluoride out and keeping us safe.
Right on, Earl. Thank you so much for calling today. Let's go to Kyle calling in from Nebraska. Kyle, you're on InfoWars Sunday Night Live. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, Owen, how you been?
I'm good, man.
Good. I just wanted to tell you a quick story about what happened yesterday with some family regarding the masks.
All right,
So
let's hear it.
So I go on into a local Walmart, no mask. No one harassed me. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, this is what I normally do anyway. Go in, walk through. My dad puts one on because they say that, got to put one on, even though no one said anything. Like walking into the place, no one said a word. So I walk in there. I get back in the truck later, and he goes, just so you know, here on out, I'm not going to go into stores with you anymore. I go, why is that? Because you embarrassed me. Told me I embarrassed him by not wearing a mask. So do you want to talk about, that's where we're at. It's so far gone. It's so far dyslexic now that your own family members are embarrassed by you not putting on a mask.
Yeah, because it's all a virtue signal. It's like if,
100%.
if you've ever watched that episode of Seinfeld when Kramer does the AIDS walk and they want him to wear the ribbon. And he's like, no, I'm doing the AIDS walk. I'm not going to wear the ribbon. They're like, what do you mean you won't wear the ribbon? And then they end up beating him up because he won't wear the ribbon. He's like, hey, he just wants to do the AIDS walk. He doesn't wear the ribbon. It's the same thing with the mask. So yeah, everyone's the mask Nazi. Everyone's the ribbon boy. Wear the ribbon. Yes, why won't you wear the ribbon? Guys, we should have this coming back. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Kyle. God bless you. God bless you, Kyle. Unbelievable. What do you mean you won't wear the ribbon? Who won't wear the ribbon? Who won't wear the mask? Why won't you wear the mask?
The work we do here at InfoWars 7 days a week is now more important than ever. You don't need me to tell you that. But I just want to reach out to all the listeners and viewers and thank you for your long support and defense and your prayer for our operation. Because without you, there's no way we would still be on air. And I'm just asking all of you to now pray more than ever for a shield of protection of this nation and for peace in this country, and for God to touch the hearts of those in government, in corporations, and in the private sector to not engage in violence in the upcoming week. We're only 4 days away now from the installation of Joe Biden, a communist Chinese agent. We've seen the fraud. We've seen the media lie to us. We've witnessed the incredible big tech censorship. And now we see the electronic control grid going into place. And now we see hundreds and hundreds of armored vehicles and F-16s and 20+ thousand troops on the streets of D.C. This isn't for the few hundred people that broke into the Capitol. This is for the American people to see that image of martial law and to understand that the globalists have conquered this country and that we are now under military rule. And that military does not work for we the people. That military works for the globalist. This is a complex psyop. In truth, that military statistically is pro-America and is aware of what's going on. And so this is really a psyop against the military itself, teaching them to be enemies of the American people. So let's not take the bait. Anybody that attacks the military or police is working for the globalist and is either consciously under their command or been manipulated via operations that I will detail in upcoming reports posted to Band.video dealing with Operation Trust.